fresh fragrances that don't smell basic. Hi everyone, I'm Jayne and welcome back to my channel, Scented Moments, where we discuss everything about perfumes. So in this video, I have here 10 fragrances. I will not be ranking this list, but each one of these fragrances are fresh, but in their own unique way. So usually fresh fragrances, they tend to be safe, very easy to wear. Usually they have your typical citruses. Some of them have this shower gel feel or fresh out of the shower, clean, safe, and that's all fine if you are into those type of fragrances. But sometimes I want more. I want to feel refreshed. I want to feel clean, but at the same time, I want some complexity. As mild as it can be, but still I want to feel something more than just citrus or just clean laundry type of smell. And so these 10 fragrances are really filling up that gap. And without further ado, let's get started. So the first fragrance from the house of Ormonde, this one is Verano. I already featured Verano on my best summer fragrances for this year. This just shows how much I love this one. Great discovery, Ormonde Verano. Ormonde Verano, it was previously known as Montebaco Verano, so it was a flanker to Montebaco. And I never tried that one, but from what I see by some reviews, people say that this is not that different from what was Montebaco Verano. And also, this shares, it's basically the little brother, the fun, revigorating, fresh young brother of Montebaco Intensivo, because it still has a tobacco in the base, that dry tobacco leaf in the base, but on top, this has such a massive, refreshing, juicy grapefruit that it's quite prominent, followed by this beautiful, smooth cashmere accord with some suede. And it has, I would say, like an airy sea breeze quality, but also very soft, nothing overwhelming. Overall, I think this fragrance is fantastic. It's a great fresh fragrance. It has the fresh quality, the fresh citrusy quality, but in a very tailored way, very elegant way. And it has the complexity with the notes that I just mentioned and some more, honestly. But to me, it's more of that. Yes, the grapefruit, cashmere, suede, dry tobacco leaf. Amazing scent right here. Highly advise if you to try this on if you have yet to. Performance actually it's quite good. So if you are into a unique fresh scent that doesn't smell basic, well, Ormonde Verano, it's one that you definitely should check out. The next fragrance from Profumum Roma, but this is one of the most underrated fragrances from this brand. And honestly, it's starting to be one of my favorite spring summer fragrance, but especially for the summer. This is fresh, yes, but not in your typical citrusy sea breeze way. This one is Victrix. And Victrix, it's such a beautiful green, aromatic, spicy scent. It's so good. This is fresh in a more green aromatic aspect with lots of bay leaf, lots of rosemary and pepper, more like a hint of black pepper. But overall, this has like a Mediterranean green character. And it's very savory, very aromatic, very herbal, but dry, a bit salty. I would say this has like a sea breeze, a mild sea breeze quality, like you are next to the shore. It's so good. It's amazing. And this fragrance to me smells like you are passing through a garden next to the Mediterranean Sea, where you see like the bushes, like the dry leaves that are literally burning under the sun. And you feel a bit of a dusty, airy quality in the air, a bit of sea breeze in the air. It's how Victrix smells. Victrix, it's not, again, your typical pretty, easygoing, fresh, citrusy, sparkly type of scent. It's, again, more on the herbal, aromatic, savory, almost quality, but it's done in such a fantastic, unique way. So if you're searching for a fragrance that it's fresh, yes, but completely different from your typical fresh fragrance, I mean, Victrix is one that you definitely should check out. Performance is fantastic. All fragrances from Profumum Roma are highly concentrated, very oily, very long lasting, great performance overall, even projection wise. So I highly advise for you to try this. For me, it's a hidden gem for the summertime, Victrix. And the next fragrance from the house of Lalique. Fantastic bang for your buck. I mean, Lalique in general is the best bang for your buck brand out there. Great presentation, great perfumes, high quality perfumes, unique perfumes, and this is one of them. And this is L'Insoumis. And this fragrance was released already 10 years ago, or 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago. And you can still find this fragrance relatively available, quite affordable. This is a 100 ml. You can find this like under 30 euros. It's really a fantastic scent, and the scent profile, while it's familiar because it's that fresh, aromatic fougere type of scent, but in a modern way, done in a modern way. You have here rum, you have woods like dry woods, pink pepper, and overall you have an airiness quality. So here you have lavender. I would say you have a bit of a mossy touch in here, mossy slash patchouli nuance, but I would say that it has still an airy quality. In fact, I always say this, and I don't know if there is any other reviewer or even any other person who mentioned this before, but I do see a lot of similarities between L'Insoumis from Lalique and Creed's Viking. And funny enough, Creed's Viking was released a year after L'Insoumis. I do see some similarities. Maybe Viking is more, even more herbal, even more aromatic, but scent-wise, I see similarities. Either way, I think this is a stunning scent in their own way. If you want something more, I would say formal, but at the same time more modern, and still signature scent worthy, I would say definitely check out L'Insoumis. I think this is not a typical everyday summer fragrance because it has a serious aspect, because in the end is a fougere, and fougères for me at least are a bit more serious, not as fun, easygoing, playful, that I tend to prefer in summer perfumes. But every time I want something a bit more uptight, I will go with L'Insoumis from Lalique. High quality scent. Nothing here is cheap. Very smooth, high quality blending materials, at least to my nose. So, and it's one that, although being a fougere, but it's still quite modern, so highly advise if you to try this one. Performance actually is quite nice. I mean, it's average. You are 6-7 hours max. L'Insoumis from Lalique, very underrated, but it's a fresh fragrance that by no means smells basic. The next fragrance is one of the most poetic fresh fragrances that I have in my collection from a house of Frederic Malle, and this one is Passant. And Passant for me is such a beautiful scent. It's all around lilac, but it smells like lilac after the rain. So it has this dewy, watery, delicate, and incredibly natural feeling to it. This also has like a cucumber-like aspect that gives like a transparency, that gives this almost like cool breeze after a summer storm. It's amazing. It's very elegant. It's fresh. It's a bit floral. It's watery but not aquatic. It's really a one-of-a-kind scent. I never smelled any fragrance like this before. And to me, this is really unisex, although I can see why some people tend to say that this is a bit more feminine, leans a bit more feminine, but to me this is unisex, and I love to wear this when it's hot outside but cloudy. and it has, you go outside, it's a bit humid, and it has really like a tropical weather outside. It's when I tend to wear En Passant. It's incredible. So it gives really a peace of mind, tranquility. Amazing. En Passant by Frederic Malle. A fresh floral fragrance like no other. And the next fragrance is my scent of the day, at least by the day I'm recording this video. And this is from the house of Olfactive Studio. This one is Flashback. Another quite underrated fragrance, and this is another fragrance that it's very fresh, but by no means basic. This is fresh and green, I would say as well a bit aromatic, but with rhubarb. This has a massive dose of rhubarb in here. It's very green, very tangy, sharp, a bit sour, but almost mouth-watering. It's so realistic, the green rhubarb in here, that it's followed by this earthy vetiver, woody vetiver, with a bit of, it has a hint of a sparkly citrusy quality, just to balance the overall like green, sour, dry qualities of the rhubarb. And also vetiver can go a bit like that as well. But overall, this is such a unique scent. It's sour, it has a freshness, it's quite fresh, quite aromatic, but very fun, easygoing. Is not your typical, like for example, Still Life in Rio by the same brand Olfactive Studio, which was part of my best summer fragrances for this year. That one is the typical tropical, easygoing, very fun, boozy type of perfume. No, this is very different. Although it doesn't have all of that fun qualities and tropical qualities, but it's still very easy to wear. It has also, I would say, a bit of a fresh, clean linen shirt into it aspect. But in overall, I would say that this fragrance is very easy to wear and still being elegant, effortless. It's really one of a kind. It's a fragrance that I highly advise for you to try. It has a lot of, for a fresh fragrance, it has a lot of things going on here. Flashback by Olfactive Studio. Highly advise for you to try this one. The downside is the performance. Not that great, but I mean, but scent-wise, it's fantastic. The next fragrance, I mean, no surprises here. I'm really head over heels over this fragrance. Roja. This one is 1819 Burlington. I am like obsessed with this fragrance. I think I will be talking about this fragrance a lot. This perfume is really one of a kind. It's one of, if not the best fragrance, summer fragrance. I mean, summer, I think this fragrance can be worn really all year round, but because I discovered this one during the summer or the beginning of the summer, this for me is like the best summer discovery, fragrance discovery. Wow. It's fantastic. It has the best grapefruit note that I ever smelled. And I have Pamplemousse by Guerlain from the Aqua Ligoria line, which for me, that was the reference in terms of grapefruit. Wow, but this takes it to a next level. So hyper realistic, juicy grapefruit with spices. You know, it's funny that people in the comments, when I talk about this fragrance also in my summer fragrance video, a few people talk about the cumin in here, and I do get cumin. But it's not that prominent, and usually cumin on my skin tends to be quite prominent on my skin. Not the case of Burlington. Burlington, to me, it's more about grapefruit, ginger, amazing ginger, and I love ginger in perfumes. That gives that extra edge of zesty, energetic quality, very tangy, with mint, amazing mint in here as well. And then the cumin is just more in the background and give a bit more warmth and a bit more of a complexity into it. But I also do get tobacco, a bit of amber. It does have a lot of warmth in the base, but the cumin, I would say, is on my skin. And that's the fun part of perfumery, that, well, not all fragrances will smell the same on each skin. And that's the case to me in terms of, and that's the case of Burlington on my skin. There is a bit of cumin, but not that, I would say it's not that intense, but a lot of people commented when I talked about Burlington on my summer video, that, like my best summer fragrances video, that the cumin is quite prominent. So, I mean, I'm completely raving about it. I'm hyping about this fragrance, although I'm quite late to the hype on this fragrance, but still, try this one out. If you are not into cumin, or if cumin tends to get quite prominent on your skin, and if you don't like it, well, just to be careful with that, sample this one first. And in the end, it's not a cheap fragrance. This is 100 ml, and quite honestly, I don't remember the the retail price, but it's quite over 250 euros. So, I mean, it's not a safe blind buy. So just to keep that in mind. But this for me is the ultimate luxurious summer fragrance in a bottle. Complex, unique, high quality. Everything here is smooth. Just fantastic. And it has a freshness into it. Definitely has freshness. The grapefruit with the mint and the ginger really gives a very energetic, zesty, tangy freshness to this fragrance, and then goes into a more warm, ever so slightly sweet territory in the base. Fantastic. Highly advised for you to try this one. 1819 Burlington by Roja. Now, the next fragrance is from the house of Hermes. It's one of the best designer fragrances ever created. I mean, this line in general it's a masterpiece of a line, I would say, with the exception of one or another. And I have yet to try their latest release from this line. But this one is really, again, it's a masterpiece. It smells green. It smells like a garden. It smells like a river. It smells like green fruits. It smells like a bit of incense. It smells like nature. It smells alive. It is from the Un Jardin line. It is Un Jardin sur le Nil. I love Un Jardin sur le Nil. It is the reference. I would say I think this is the most popular fragrance from the Un Jardin line created by Jean-Claude Elena. This fragrance is just one of a kind. You have green mango in here, a bit of tomato leaf. So you do have a bit of a green, savory, herbal quality. And you have lotus, carrots, citruses, and a bit of a watery transparency quality with a bit of incense. It's just so good, so unique. It's really a fragrance that you must try at least once. The performance is not that bad as one could think. At least on my skin, I get the full day of a nice smell. Always a nice breeze of this fragrance. It's really fantastic. It's elegant, very elegant, but you can wear this really every day, wherever you want, casually or a bit more formal. It's really signature scent worthy for spring and summer, and it's a fresh fragrance that, again, by no means smells basic. And you can find this, this is 100 ml. You can find this pretty much available like in online discounters for around 60 euros, 50 euros. So I really, this is a fantastic bang for your buck for the summertime, and also again for spring. Un Jardin sur le Nil, guys. It's hard to get better than this, especially for the price. The next fragrance, it's from an underrated brand, this time from the house of Heeley. And this is also fresh, but it's a different fresh. Again, you don't have here typical citruses, aquatic nuances, any of that. This is fresh in a dry soap way. It is Cologne Officinale. And Cologne Officinale is exactly that. It smells literally like a dry soap. A new dry soap. It's how this smells like. It has an old school quality. It has like that traditional French soap character into it. And it's all about that. This fragrance is just about that dry, fresh, that fresh dry soap. It's amazing. It's really a fragrance that might not be for everyone. It does have like an old school, more traditional style into it, but I still really advise you for you to try this one. It's quite elegant. It can be again signature scent. Can be signature scent, and although this is an eau de parfum concentration, the performance is not that amazing. But for the scent style, as well, I would not want this to be super long lasting. I think this lasts as it should, like 5-6 hours, and that's it. Cologne Officinale, super underrated, but it's one that highly advise for you to try. Fragrances from Heeley, the majority of them are come across as a high quality, especially for the money. I mean, this is a 100 ml, and I believe the retail is around 120, 130 euros. I mean, really, considering the current retail pricing of perfumes, and especially niche perfumes, I think this is a steal. The quality, the uniqueness of Heeley perfumes are really worth your attention. So Cologne Officinale here, again, if you want to smell like a brand new dry soap, it's Cologne Officinale. The next fragrance, it's fresh, not basic at all, although scent profile wise has become very, very popular. But this fragrance started the trend. That ozonic, mineralic quality started with this fragrance from the house of Marc-Antoine Barrois, and it is Ganymede. You also have the extrait, but I don't see the point of having the extrait because this has a huge performance. This is a monster. This is very loud. You need to go easy on the trigger here, but I just love this one. After all these years, I still love it. I mean, you can see the dent here. I still love this. And this is an eau de parfum concentration, and this was created by Canton Biche. It's really what made Canton Biche, well, now the most famous parfumeur at the moment. And this is all about saffron. But on the top you have osmanthus that gives this peachy quality, very mild, fruity, peachy quality in the opening. But what really shines in this fragrance is the blend of the saffron with the violet leaf that gives a bit of a suede nuance. And overall, this is an ozonic, mineralic. It has like almost like a metallic quality, very futuristic quality into it. Very unique, very well done. I would say that this also has a hint of an immortelle in here. It's a floral, fruity, fresh, futuristic, ozonic quality fragrance that just works. For me, this can easily be a signature scent for sure throughout the year, not just for the summertime. You can wear this everywhere, but again, go easy on the trigger because this can be a bit overwhelming. Of course, this has the famous Akigala wood that basically comes from patchouli, and then it has this crispy, airy, woody, mineralic quality. And this is what you get a lot from Ganymede, and so that's why now, because this has become so popular now, you see a lot of fragrances with Akigala wood that have this crisp, woody, mineralic quality. But for me, this is still the best. This is the best in this genre. Ganymede, fantastic, fantastic fresh fragrance, but again, by no means basic at all. And last but by no means least, in fact, if I would be ranking this this list, I think this would be my number one in terms of fresh fragrances that don't smell basic. But overall, did I forgot to mention this one on my best summer fragrances for this year? Maybe. Because this is one of a kind. This is luxurious. This is luxurious because of the raw material in here. It's very prominent, and done just to perfection. And well, I would say immediately what fragrance this is, because I mean it's just a masterpiece. So a fragrance from the house of Les Indemodables, and this one is Ambre Suprême. Ambre Suprême, which, funny enough, was by far, it was not love at first sniff for me. This was, to me, very scratchy, very overwhelming, and it was hard for me to appreciate this fragrance. And I love ambergris. I mean, I love ambergris. Natural ambergris, it's very hard to come by in perfumery because it's a very, very expensive ingredient. And the only fragrance that I recall having in my collection that has real ambergris is Encens Mythique by Guerlain, which was discontinued exactly because the raw material is just that expensive. And Ambre Suprême has that ambergris and even more. This is all about ambergris. Doesn't have anything more, I would say. This is luminous, it's salty, it's oceanic, it's fresh, but not your basic aquatic scent. No, not at all. This is the purest form of ambergris in a perfume bottle. It's just magical. And if you want to know how ambergris smells like, and it's because I would say this is just ambergris. So you will just go with Ambre Suprême, and it's just one of a kind. Salty, luminous, oceanic ambergris. Wow. Amazing. And it has a fresh quality into it, definitely. But yes, I mean, the fact that we have the possibility to smell a perfume like this, that it's available, it's readily available. I would say, although Les Indemodables is not like a big niche perfume house, but they have been gaining a lot of traction in the last few years, and rightfully so. I mean, all of the perfumes are high quality, very well taken care of, fantastic blend. So, I mean, they really deserve all the success. And you can find Les Indemodables out there. I mean, not in online discounters, for sure not, but in retail stores, niche retail stores, definitely you can find them, I would say, relatively easily. And Ambre Suprême, it's just, again, for the summer. But overall, I think you can wear this pretty much all year round. The performance is massive. It's a fragrance that I think you can go just with a couple of sprays, because it's a very rich, potent fragrance. Because the ambergris is very rich, and it's a very complex, powerful note in itself. So yes, Ambre Suprême, breathtakingly amazing. Finishing this video, guys, let me know in the comments down below, what fragrances would you suggest in terms of fresh fragrances that don't smell basic? If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, check out all the other fragrance content that I have available, and see you in the next one. Take care, guys.